Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's an honor here to present some of my trophies. I got about 1/3 of them here, and I wish you could see them all. I have one in my lap here for 1921. That's just 25 years ago, or it will be pretty soon. I'll show you how it fits. It was made for my head, but I guess my head's got a little larger then. And this is the bat, the exact weight, and the exact length, and everything that goes with it. I'm proud of that bat because it represents the bat I hit my 60 home runs with.
Meet Babe Ruth, the greatest hero in the history of sports. Perhaps the greatest entertainer of the 20th century. Just imagine if the Babe could take you on a personal tour through his baseball scrapbooks. Just imagine. How about it, Babe? Let me tell you about my pitching. Even as an old man, I love to pitch for the photographers and show off my form at old-timers games. That's me there, a 19-year-old southpaw with the Boston Red Sox. I once struck out Bob Veach, Sam Crawford, and Ty Cobb back-to-back. 3 of the best. No home run ever gave me a greater kick than that. In 1916, I won 23 games, had 9 shutouts, and led the league in ERA. But by 1919, my bat was drawing more fans than my pitching. The Red Sox honored me for setting a new Major League record of 29 home runs in 1919. And don't forget, I still won 9 games pitching that year. And then the Sox cashed in by trading me to the New York Yankees. The Yankees paid me to hit home runs. And the first year, that's my manager, Miller Huggins. The first year, I hit 54 homers, breaking my own record of 29. Then in 1923, Lou Gehrig came to the team. His swing was straight and level. Most of Lou's homers were line drive shots. And he was always chasing me for the year's home run lead. He finally caught me in 1931. My swing was more of an uppercut than Lou's. He topped me for the league lead with 49 in 1934, the only time he ever beat me. But Lou never came close to my 60 in 1927. I liked Lou's style. Always going for the extra base, stretching a double to a triple, and then going for broke and getting thrown out once in a while. With my home runs and Lou's, we were a natural to start up 2 barnstorming teams. The Boston Babes played the Larup and Lou's, and we made a bundle. You want to see a man who's on a lifetime diet? I think I gained or lost about 500 pounds with the Yankees. I put a lot of hard work into losing it, and had a good time putting it back on. 6 hot dogs, a couple of quarts of beer, with one of my favorite lunches. Especially when I washed it down with a quart of vanilla ice cream. My pal, trainer Artie McGovern, loved to torture the Babe, especially when he had me locked in the steam box at his gym. Want a box, Artie? The Babe's gonna get his revenge. My weight loss made my manager, Bob Shalky, happy when I showed up for spring training in 1930.
Well, the prospects look very good. All we have to do is get some pitching, and we'll have a good chance. If we don't win, they'll know we've been in a pennant fight. And looks to Babe here, this 25 pounds weight off, looks like he broke his old home run record.
I love the climate down here, and I've had a wonderful time. And I think Mr. Sharkey is going to make us a nice manager. That is, I'm going to try my best and pull with him. I know we'll get along together, and the way I feel, I must say that I sure am feeling and I'm in the best condition I've been in a long time.
No signs of the Great Depression at our 1932 training camp. We were all eating high off the hog and had plenty of pounds to sweat off. Lou wore a rubber jacket. He'd won the MVP the year before and did too much celebrating on the rubber chicken circuit. Spring training had a sweet sound all its own.
Nice play.
I was 37 in 1932 and beginning to feel the aches and pains. We won the pennant that year, and here I am getting ready for the Cubs at the 1932 World Series. My last World Series. The day before Game 1, the reporters posed me with some kids. I never got tired of that.
Hello, babe. How do you feel?
Fine, Sonny. How's yourself?
All right. Well, I'm glad the Yankees won.
Well, so am I.
I guess I'll see you in the World Series games then.
Well, I hope so. I guess I'm one of the lucky fellas to be able to get into 10 World Series. And the way I feel now, looks like I'll be in there.
Well, hope you hit a lot of home runs.
Well, I won't predict anything, but I'll sure do my best. I hope all you boys will be out there watching us.
The Cubs were tough in 32. So was the commissioner, Judge Landis. But he kept the game clean.
I wish I had time to say something more to you. All I can say is the teams are taking the field, and I'm very sorry you're not all here at the ball game.
Mayor McKee of Chicago threw out the first ball. Pretty good toss. Frank Demery, a rookie in 32, was one of the Cub heroes with his 3-run homer. Frank hadn't been there 2 years before when Joe McCarthy, our manager now, was fired by the Cubs for not winning them the World Championship. McCarthy wanted revenge, and we got it for Joe. Wahoo! We murdered the Cubs, scored 37 runs in a 4-game sweep. Lou had the hot bat with a .529 average in the series. Legend says I called the shot on a home run in this series. Well, I can't find it in my scrapbook anywhere. Anyway, the series belonged to Lou, who walloped 9 hits with 3 home runs and a double, scored 9 runs, and drove in 8. That's what should be remembered. I was proud to applaud Lou when I crossed the plate ahead of him. Lou was a bachelor until 1933. His new wife, Eleanor, was quite the independent lady, but she sure stood up for Lou, who was a little shy. My wife, Claire, and Eleanor didn't always see eye to eye. Lou and I had a few problems over that. We worked it out. Lou really cared about his looks. He was some good-looking guy, right? He made a couple of movies, you know. Hollywood made him a cowboy, and he didn't know a damn thing about it. Lou was scared of a horse, never rode one growing up in New York City. Which side, Lou? Lou may have once beat me out for the home run lead, but I sure was a better actor. Handsome devil. I made a couple of movies, including Headin' Home. And I played Babe Ruth in the Lou Gehrig story opposite another handsome guy named Gary Cooper. Coop and I could really act. We had a good time. In 1934, Lou and I went off with our families on a trip to Japan, along with a bunch of all-stars from around the league. Connie Mack was our official manager on the trip. He had a sense of humor, you know. Connie and I had a ball. Our ship was the Empress of Japan. Very lovely. We played in Japan, Shanghai, Manila. They loved us everywhere. They loved the babe, I'll tell you that. They mobbed us in Tokyo. There's Lou on the left. He couldn't believe the attention. You know, during World War II, Japanese soldiers used to shout out at our guys, "To hell with Babe Ruth." Me, I took it as a compliment. Their kids were like our kids. Except they thought Connie Mack was George Washington. They really liked us. Me and Lou there, Jimmy Fox, old Double X, they made us feel at home. Let me show you some real good times. I loved Hawaii. Took Claire and my stepdaughter Julia there in 1933. We did all the tourist things and loved them. Threw coins to the kids alongside our big boat in Honolulu. Duke Kahanamoku, Hawaii's famous Olympic swimming hero, taught me to surf. Well, sort of. Even kids in Hawaii all knew who the babe was. I gave hidden lessons on the beach at Waikiki. Did I really wear a pineapple on my head? A year later, my softball debut at a charity picnic.
I'm the Admiral of the Swiss Navy. Now I'll cut myself a piece of ball.
Okay, let's go, folks.
I found out the umps are just as lousy in softball. I couldn't hit in that damn jacket. You ever see such uniforms? Now that's more like it. You bet the babe could play softball. I liked any kind of fishing.
Glad you fellas. Can't catch any fish?
Not a darn thing, babe.
What? Oh, listen, you haven't got the touch.
Have you got it?
Oh,
Oh, boy. Got a couple there.
Wait a minute.
Oh, he's got one.
Look at there.
He has.
Now, that shows how you can catch him in Orange County.
Hey, how about this contraption? Hell, I'd try anything once. My real favorite, though, was hunting, especially with my Betsy.
In baseball terms, when we get something we like, we always give it a pet name. And my pet names for things that I like bats and golf sticks and guns and things like that, we call them Betsy. So this is what I call my Betsy in shooting. And these fellas around here are taking up a lot of my time. If he was a buck, I'd just put the bead on him. Now, I'm going away, and I won't be back just a few days before Christmas. And I want to say, while I have the chance, to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Get that. Get him. Come on, get him. Come on, son. That big cock the baby's got this time. Come on here. That's a boy. That's a man. Good dog. Go ahead, babe. Here it is.
You bat over 300 in this ballpark, you're going to get a lot of birds. And I got a lot of birds.
I guess my average wasn't so good, but I guess I got about 14 out of 20. That's pretty good for a fellow who only shoots once in a while. Well, you can see for yourself how the dogs look there, and then after looking at the dogs, just look at us and you can judge for yourself the distance we covered today.
I also love golf. And like my friend here, Ty Cobb, the Georgia Peach, I found there was a carryover from the baseball swing. You got the power from the turn of the body. It didn't help much with the putting, though. The Georgia Peach had lost his fuzz. I once played golf with New York's Governor Al Smith. Al ran for president in 1928. Lost to Herbert Hoover.
Oh, I got a chain to the ice. Good boy. That's a nice putt, Ray. Give him that. Yeah, that's good. All right. Another par. Anybody looking? Nobody looking.
This babe was some golfer. Babe Didrikson, greatest female athlete ever. Babe could play any sport. Babe Didrikson and I once teamed up for an exhibition, and 12,000 people poured across the Fresh Meadows course in New York to see us. I was proud they called her Babe, after me. I always had a good time at Christmas, particularly with a bunch of orphan kids. I knew how they felt. I bet you didn't know. I was an orphan.
Say, little lady, this is too warm to be Sandy Claus. I have to take this one off.
I had a great day at the first baseball all-star game in Chicago in 1933. The game was part of the celebration of the Chicago World's Fair. Connie Mack managed the American League team and John McGraw the Nationals.
We have a sellout, a big crowd, a fine day, and I hope the best team wins.
Here's McGraw and his team acting like a bunch of kids for their all-star team picture. There's Carl Hubble of the Giants and the A's Lefty Grove. Here I am, way over on the left with Lou. A great sports announcer, Graham McNamee, called the game from the roof of Comiskey Park.
A game that is absolutely unique. And now, Geringer, that great ball player, second baseman, is up at bat for the American All-Stars. And he takes a ball followed immediately by a called strike.
I came to bat in the first inning and took ball one from Willie Hallahan of the St. Louis Cardinals. Then he threw me ball two. I just wanted to hit one. After ball three went by, the fans booed. They wanted to see the babe swing too. When the next pitch caught the corner for a strike, they cheered for more. I swung and missed for strike two. Then I got a real bad call. Watch this. Call strike three. There were 49,000 disappointed fans, but no one was as angry as the babe. I'd come to hit and ended up taking two strikes and getting just one good swing off Hallahan. But there was no going back. I just concentrated on my next at-bat. It was the third inning. The count was 1-1, and Willie threw me his best pitch. It wasn't good enough. I never enjoyed a home run more than that one. We went on to win the game 4-2. It was billed as an exhibition, but I like to think my home run helped make it an annual event. The next year, 1934, was my last with the Yankees. I was 40 and feeling it.
Look out for the camera.
There's Lefty Gomez on the left. They called him Goofy, but there was nothing goofy about Lefty. Always threw me fastballs down the pipe. Joe McCarthy managed us in 1934.
According to the last report, you made a statement that you're going to play 100 games this year, and I wouldn't be a bit surprised that you play 154 games.
Well, Joe, 154 is quite a few games, but at my age, 40 years of age, 100 games, I think will be all right.
Mayor LaGuardia and Commissioner Landis at the 1934 All-Star Game. My last one, but not my best one. There's Walter Johnson, the big train. Lou and I had no idea what Carl Hubble had in store for us. First, Hubble fooled me on a pitch that caught the corner. Then I got fooled again. What a screwball Hubble had. There was no question about strike three. Carl had made the babe look bad. Hey, you can't win them all. Lou looked no better. And then Hubble made it 3 Hall of Famers in a row when he struck out Jimmy Fox. Carl started off the next inning whiffing Al Simmons and Joe Cronin for 5 in a row. That's why they called Hubble King Carl. In 1935, I closed out my playing career with the Boston Braves. At the 35 series, I really envied 2 former players, Cub manager Charlie Grimm and Tiger manager Mickey Cochran. They got a chance to manage. Why not me?
That's right, Charlie. It ought to be a great series. May the best club win.
Thank you very much, Mickey.
In 1938, the Dodgers gave me a shot as a coach. And the manager, Burley Grimes, and all the players made me feel real welcome.
That's it. Pretty good. It looks fine, thanks. That's a lot fine. All right, boys.
I never played for the Dodgers, but I took pregame batting practice. And a lot of folks came out early to see Coach Babe Ruth hit a few. In 1939, I was out of the game, and suddenly, so was Lou. At Lou Gehrig Day, he said a sad goodbye after playing 2,130 consecutive games. Nobody's ever going to break that record. I was holding back the tears. So was our manager, Joe McCarthy, as he walked with Lou to that microphone. Lou had just a little time left.
For the past 2 weeks, you've been reading about a bad brag. Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth. That I might have been given a bad break, but I've got an awful lot to live for. Thank you.
Here's the old Babe during World War II, when I hit my last home runs in a couple of challenges for charity games against my old friend Walter Johnson. Walter was back on the farm, but he dug out his glove for the occasion. The big train hadn't pitched since 1927. But remember now, he was the best. I pitched against him a couple of times and beat him a couple of 1-0 shutouts, but he was the best. And now he was going to challenge the Babe one more time. I couldn't wait. I dusted off some fond memories, then I went to the closet and pulled out old number 3, picked up old Betsy, and I was off to challenge the big train. I know Claire was proud of me that day. Walter Johnson versus Babe Ruth. First time in 15 years since 1927. I wondered how hard Walter could throw. Well, he got his fastball past me, but only once. The Babe could still hit him. I hit a couple that day. And it was very sweet for both of us. We did it again the following year. Connie Mack was there, Eddie Collins, Hans Wagner, Frankie Frisch, Roger Bresnahan, who played Major League Ball back in 1897. Hank Greenberg, who once hit 58 home runs, was there in uniform. Carl Hubble signed some autographs. And old Betsy got one more shot. Walter Johnson drew first blood and then got ahead of me, 0-2. I tell you, that hurt this old man. Hey, old Betsy had one more left. Hell, one more than my legs had. A year later, we all got together to honor Connie Mack on his 50th anniversary in baseball. Eddie Collins, Hans Wagner. I was the guest speaker. Walter Johnson looking good. Tris Speaker, the Gray Eagle.
And I don't know of a better manager and a better man to handle men as the old friend Connie right here. And people say, why don't Connie get out of the game? I say, Connie, you stay in this game as long as you live. The boys need you.
Well, I'm going to do that.
I was in the hospital for a long stay in 1947, and my thousands of kids gave me a lift that kept me going. They wrote letters, beautiful letters, and they came to see me every day, even if I couldn't see them. They were there, and it was very important to me. I had cancer. And they were there when I checked out, looking pretty bad. I guess they wondered if they'd ever see me again. I wondered about it myself. But I got back on that golf course in a couple of weeks, and while I wasn't hitting them as far as I used to, I was hitting them. Even picked up old Betsy. I started fishing again, and I started putting on a few pounds, enough to pull in a nice-sized sailfish. Pretty soon I was feeling good enough to do what I loved best, better than golf or fishing. I never forgot what it was like for me as a kid. We lived in Baltimore in the waterfront district. We were very poor. There were times when we didn't know where the next meal was going to come from. Baseball gave me a way out. And I guess I was just lucky to be good at it. They held Babe Ruth Day for me at Yankee Stadium in 1947. And do you know it was celebrated at the same time in every major league ballpark in the land? I didn't have much voice left, but I wanted to say a few words. All my old friends were there. Bucky Harris, Joe DiMaggio. Claire was there with Eleanor Gehrig. I just wished Lou could have been there.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. You know how bad my voice sounds. Well, it feels just as bad. There's been so many lovely things said about me, and I'm glad that I've had the opportunity to thank everybody. Thank you.
Give him away.
When I was a kid, all I ever wanted to do was play in the big leagues. I didn't care where. And for a dirty-faced kid from the streets, I collected a lot of memories. I'm glad I could share them with you.